Anonymous asks, "Tell me your creepiest experiences." Number 1. Me, 8 to 10 years old or so. Dad is taking me to meet some of his colleagues. It's a kind of hoity-toity business gathering at a nice library. I wasn't supposed to come along, so Dad warns me to be on my best behavior. I was worried I wasn't dressed fancy enough. It's pretty boring, but the people are nice enough. Dad introduces me to a few people he knows. One guy in particular stood out as he was wearing an emerald green suit. And the people around were dressed in nice clothing as well, but this guy had a green suit on. Dad tells me that man is probably the smartest and wealthiest person in the room. The green man takes a great interest in me because I was known for being a bit precocious, and I was pretty articulate for a kid, I guess. He asked me a litany of strange questions about history and science and my opinion on some geopolitical topics. It was absurd, but I was the kind of kid that knew about these sorts of things, and I absorbed information like a sponge. I was basically repeating back to him things I'd read in a book or seen on TV that seemed to be authoritative to me. If he asked me about something I didn't know about, I told him as much. That seemed to please him since I wasn't pretending to be more knowledgeable than I actually was. He continues questioning me, but then something strange happens. I can hear his voice saying something different than what his mouth is saying. I can hear his voice in my head. I'm really confused. As precocious as I was, I had no idea that people could do that, so I was a bit surprised. None of the adults freaked out or acted strange, so I assumed that I was just a little slow in the uptake. The green man smiles at my confusion, but then excuses himself in a bit of a hurry. The gathering ends, and we end up leaving. On the drive home, I asked my dad about the man in the green suit, and he has no idea what I'm talking about. And I tried to explain to him that he literally introduced me to a man that was dressed in a weird green suit, but Dad just apparently doesn't recall this. I'm left wondering how exactly he could forget that. Number 2. One of my earliest memories is a deranged woman fighting my mom in the park, yelling, "You stole my child! This is my child!" and trying to grab me. Mom had to physically overpower her and chase her away. That woman cried as she fled, saying, "I'll find you again, son. I'll save you one day." Number 3. Be me at 16. A friend invites me to smoke. Friend suggests we go to a cut. I don't know where it is, so I agree and follow. We walk across town and stop at an abandoned house by my old middle school. Instant bad feeling. There were lots of rumors about the house. The home's owner allegedly took his own life, and a girl from another school went missing some years prior and was last seen by the house. I'm already creeped out, but I want to smoke, so I go in anyway. The inside is dark. All the windows and doors are boarded. We had to get in and out by climbing through a hole in one of the walls. There was graffiti and broken glass everywhere. We sit amid the debris and smoke. While we're there, I can hear noises from inside the darkness. Scratching and creaking. We shine a phone light down the dark hall, but something weird happened. The house was small, but the darkness inside looked deep, like the hallway beside the room that we were in looked like it went on forever. More noises. More scratching, but louder than before. I'm starting to freak out but say nothing because my friend would talk shit to me if I did. My friend says we should explore the house more and see if there's anything valuable in it. But I'm at my limit. Too creeped out. I make up an excuse and say that I need to go home, and we leave. While we're walking back, I ask him if he heard the noises in the house. What noises, man? I didn't hear anything. I drop the matter and we part ways. Neither of us went back to that house again after that. Number 4. Every Halloween night, I see a UFO. It's happened to me multiple years in a row, and always on the same road. My father was a pilot, and at a young age I would fly GA, general aviation planes. I understand the speed in which a plane moves, and the lights that planes are legally required to have. But I've never in my life seen a plane like these things. They can hold in place in the air and accelerate far beyond modern aviation technology and then just disappear. To be honest, this feels like a bit of a schizo post. Number 5. I remember my mom bought a house from a supposed witch years ago, and seemingly all my family members but me were freaked out at some point. Nothing really extraordinary happened to me there, though. There was some creepy shit where me and my sister had this little game where we'd knock on each other's walls as if it were like a door or something, and I've always had sleep issues since I was a little boy, so I'd wake up past midnight and for some reason still hear her knocks on my wall, even when she wasn't in the house. Number 6. Be me, back in middle school. Visiting a friend's house who lives out in the countryside. Closest neighbor was a little over a mile down a serpentine road in either direction. 5 of us there without supervision because Housebro's parents weren't home. Mainly spending the night playing vidya and talking. After a while, 3 of the group were asleep, and everyone else aside from me and my swim teammate Ben. It's a new moon and it's cloudy, so it's completely pitch black outside. The house borders on a thin strip of wooded area a few miles away, so thin that you could probably walk edge to edge in 15 minutes. Ben and I are sitting on a second-story balcony that faces parallel to the tree line. We're talking about stupid shit, and he starts idly messing with this cheap laser pointer that looks like a laser tag pistol on his keychain. He's just waving it around back and forth across the tree line and the lawn of the house. We continue talking, and after a few minutes, there's a blue dot on my arm. Both of us are confused and realize that it's the light from a laser pointer, but it's coming from inside the woods. The dot runs across my arm and shirt a few times before disappearing. Find it kind of funny for a second before realizing that means someone's out there in the pitch black darkness in the woods, watching us. We try to play it cool and pretend like we didn't even notice as we went back inside. In hindsight, that was completely idiotic because we both looked right at it and clearly reacted to it being there. We get back inside and wake Housebro up. The other 2 would have probably lost their shit and called the cops, so we just let him sleep. We try to figure out what to do, if maybe we should call one of our families over or something. We decide to just hunker down for the night. I wasn't planning on sleeping during this day regardless, so it wasn't too bad on me. After that, the night goes smoothly, and nothing else happens or ever came of it. Number 7. Be 6th or 7th grade, anywhere from 10 to 12 years old. Be me. Play hide and seek in an old underground parking basement area. Place was used by 3 buildings. It was huge. And it was also dark as hell. Me and 2 others get caught, so we're searching for our 4th friend. Friend comes rushing through us, literally knocking the wind out of us as he keeps running. We thought somehow that he didn't see us or he'd mistaken us for someone else. As we're shouting for him to come back, we hear a distant scraping that gets closer fast. As we're processing the sound, a sharp metallic screech comes from the direction of the scraping. Like what a fox with a vocal box would sound like or something. We sprint out of there. Feel sunlight after what felt like hours underground. Everyone has a different perception of what that thing sounded like. I don't know if the sound was just too weird to describe or somehow it changed depending on the person. The friend who was hiding said that it was a person screaming his lungs out. Others said that it was like an explosion or a loud hiss. Fast forward 9 or 10 years. The event turns into a debate with the same group of friends. Theories ranging from a water pipe problem to a schizophrenic homeless person. The friend who was hiding has no recollection of this event at all, and says it's just a collective false memory. Number 8. This actually didn't happen that long ago, as I was 18 at the time. B senior in high school, 2021. Summer-ish. Be at a strip mall with the same group of friends from before, plus a few others. This mall is quite a popular spot for young chav types to hang around and pick fights with each other. It's almost always crowded with kids and teens. Be in the crowd waiting for friends to grab some food from a bakery. Hear whistling. Now, normally whistling in this place would be nothing out of the ordinary, but this was different. It was calculated and flawlessly done. And get out of the crowd. Whistling starts following us. We start to get annoyed thinking that it's somebody trying to provoke us or something. Close to us but out of sight and, as I said, almost robot-esque. One of my friends with a non-existent temper gets heated and runs toward the whistling. It stops. Go to a friend's house later and get hammered. Leave around 2 a.m. with another friend and go home. As soon as we step out of the building, the whistling's back. But now it's in a tone that sounds like it's almost taunting us. We curse toward the sound, but it just continues. We're at an area with tall hedges. The whistling's getting really close now, like as if it's just behind them. My friend and I decide that we're going to jump him. On his mark. 1, 2, 3. Nothing. Then whoever it is whistles again for the last time. The whistling sound somehow went over our heads. And then nothing. Go home bewildered by what the hell we just experienced. Number 9. Sophomore, winter of 2020, pre-COVID. Chilling at home playing Sekiro on my PlayStation. An unsaved number's ringing me. Pick it up and it's an old woman talking in Albanian. I politely inform her that I don't speak the language and she has the wrong number, and hang up. As soon as I put my phone down, it starts ringing again. I sigh and just put it on silent. Continue with the game. I pick up my phone after some time to see if someone's messaged me. My face went 54 missed calls and still ringing. I pick up and shout at them for a few minutes, mutually exchanging curses and swears in our languages. Hang up and block. Don't think much about it. Tell my friends about these crazy-ass old people. They want to have a few rounds with them. Much shouting ensues. 30 minutes after the last call, my friend's PC literally fries itself. It freezes and emits heat like a radiator. Pull the plug and open it because something other than the cooling fan was making noise inside. The motherboard was half melted. Friend visibly upset but doesn't attribute this to the Albanian witch. Go home. My PlayStation had all its files corrupted. Closest I've been to ending it. Another friend had something similar happen to him, but I don't remember what it was. I just know that it was like something with a boiler. We mutually all agreed that this is some kind of hex caused by that granny. So we decided to call the number again. The number doesn't exist. Number 10. And this is an experience I shared with my little brother. I've had a few other experiences as well, but nothing like this one. Be 12 years old. Find out that the movie Transformers is going to be on TV at 11 p.m. on a school night. Want to watch it with my little brother. Ask Mom. She says no. We'll see about that. Devise a plan with my brother. Pretend to go to sleep. Wait till parents are asleep and then get out of bed. Tell my brother to close all the doors and turn on the TV while I prepare some snacks. After a while, don't hear the TV being on. God damn it. Walk into the living room to see my brother frozen in place and staring at something. Hey, what's wrong? Notice it. See a pitch black entity with a white face and red eyes and its head peeking out just behind the couch. It suddenly drops behind the couch. Stand there for a couple seconds. Walk slowly into kitchen. Get knife. Crouch walk with knife in hand to the couch and peek behind it to see nothing. We didn't watch Transformers that night. Number 11. I was a college freshman 10 plus years ago, at home for the summer, working at a burger place in Seattle. Halfway through the summer, this guy around my age joins, and I would talk with him to pass the time. He asked me a lot about college, specifically about sororities. Every conversation seemed to find its way to the topic of parties or sorority girls, but I didn't really think that much of it. Move forward a month or so and I'm at my last day, and we're talking about me going back to college. He said he was going to visit the area the first weekend of classes. My college is known as a party school, so people coming over to visit for big weekends isn't uncommon, so again, I didn't think much of it. I knew that I wasn't going to meet up with him, but I humored him and said that we'd hang out. Fast forward a few weeks. I hear a story about some dude breaking into a sorority house and hiding underneath the girl's bed. It was him. Story 12. Be me, about 12 years old. Used to hide behind friend's house down a huge Texas drainage ditch. Always told his mom we stayed in the house. No cell phones, no weapons. Mostly tall grass and chain link fences that are the back of warehouses and factories. One day, we're going through the forest. I'm talking to my friend in turn and see a man. He's just staring at us. Realize that we're in his home in the woods. He has little structures built, about 4 of them. All different shapes. One was a tent, but the others I don't remember really. One was kind of blocky looking. Kept talking to my friend. Staring at the man, and he stares back. Start walking around, but don't look back at him once we go past. Years later, I'm asking my friend if he remembers when we saw that guy in the woods. Friend has no recollection. I have no idea how we didn't see him. I thought that him being quiet was just him playing along with me, pretending that the guy wasn't there, signaling to the man that we weren't going to bother him. Part of me wonders if that guy's still out there in the woods. Number 13. Be little kid. Still sleep with Gate on side of the bed because of sleepwalking. Have a dream where great-grandfather's lying on my bed glowing green. He's also sick. I'm standing over him. He reaches out and touches me with his finger. I'm now glowing green. Get scared and back away. Look out the bedroom window that's wide open. Thunderstorms brewing. Lightning crashes. Instead of thunder, a loud voice roars something at me. I've never been able to recall what it said. Wake up in that bed. Window really is open. Actual thunderstorm happening. Loud thunder. Window slams shut seemingly on its own accord. Scream at the top of my lungs and grandparents run upstairs. Tell them about my dream. Grandpa walks away and doesn't say a word, and Grandma explains that my great-grandfather had passed away overnight. Family is Catholic, so the incident is never spoken of again. Number 14. Live in north-central British Columbia. Shoveling outside at night. Suddenly, massive green flash in the sky. Like the entire night sky lit up bright green for 2 seconds. Light disappears. No sound accompanies it. I asked around and no one else said they noticed it that night, and there was nothing on the local newspaper or on the radio. Number 15. Be me, 10 to 11 years old. Friend from baseball team invited a bunch of us for some sleepover thing. 7 of us there were watching Avengers outside. He brings out 3 flashlights, suggests we go into the forest behind his house. I get one, he gets one, another kid gets one. 2 kids go with him, one with me and another with a 3rd flashlight kid. We go separate from the others into the woods. The boy with me asks, "How deep into the woods are we going?" He's the only pussy of the group. Until we get lost. Plan to mess with him works. He's clearly frightened. Walk for a few minutes. Same old trees. Nothing notable. Boy stops, dead silent. I turn around to him. Looks like he's about to burst into tears as he points up. Turn back around. There's a deer split down the middle. Intestines all over the place and claw marks all over it and the trees around. The highest claw marks are like 20 feet up on the trees. The deer's still breathing. We turn back and run like we'd never run before. We get back and everyone's been waiting for us. We say that we're all sleeping inside with no further explanation and tell the kid that organized the whole thing what we found the next day. The parents went into the forest alone later, but didn't find anything. No blood, no deer or claw marks. But both me and the boy knew what we saw. Number 16. Be me, about 15, living in a rural village in upstate New York in the early 1990s. My friend and I are members of a pretty fundamentalist church at the time that were kind of popular in the region back then. Nothing to do during the summer nights, so my friend and I used to walk all over the town until the early morning hours. Like to go to one of 2 graveyards that had an old section from the early 1800s. The graveyard had about 8 feet diameter natural stones arranged in a circle around some trees. I'm walking in the cemetery, step into the circle, and I'm immediately gripped by something which throws my head back and shakes me. My friend lays hands on me and prays. Whatever's happening stops. We run. I get halfway over a bridge, and on the way home it happens a second time. My friend puts his hands on me again and prays, and it goes away. We run home and are freaked out the rest of the night. 30 years later, and I remember it like it's yesterday. I asked a friend about it over Facebook a few years back, but he didn't remember. Number 17. I grew up on a farm, and when the sheep had babies, we'd have to go out back and check on them. This happened to me one of those nights I had a 3 a.m. shift. playing Silent Hill 1 as it had just come out and I needed to stay awake. 3 a.m. hits and it's time to go check the sheep. The weather's cold, foggy, and misty like Silent Hill. Great, I'm gonna die. All the sheep are good. Got one new lamb put up with Mom. Seems healthy. Hear a piercing scream in the woods. Shit, I actually am gonna die. Seriously though, what makes a sound like that? Piercing screech again. I'm not imagining it. Maybe it's a calf stuck in the mud and bellowing until it's hoarse. Didn't make much sense, but I needed a possible explanation. Well, shit, I guess I need to go check. Screeching continues periodically, and I venture into the woods where I'm hearing it. None of the cows in that pasture are anywhere to be seen. Realize the source of the sound is moving away from me. Okay, it's gotta be a fox or a wounded rabbit, maybe. Now I'm just curious and want to know. Keep moving towards it. It keeps moving away. Eventually I'm shouldering my way through thick pines. I can't see shit with my light in any direction. Just trying to get out of the pines into something walkable when my flashlight blinks out. Screeching sound starts moving closer. Banging my flashlight against the trees. Nothing. Screech from maybe 20 feet away. To hell with this. Blindly push through trees and get scratched and cut. Screech loud in my ear. I feel like I felt its breath. Blind panic as I'm sprinting in the dark towards the edge of the woods. I just want even moonlight, please. Face and arms are bleeding, but I make it to a clearing and the light turns back on. Keep hearing whatever it was stay in the woods as I'm leaving that night. Hear it numerous times after that, always in the woods and always at nighttime. I convinced myself it was a barn owl, so I don't go insane. Story 18. Only one memory stands out for me. This took place in the early 1970s in a house on Taunton Street in Victoria, BC. The house had black trim back then, and the big tree in the yard and row of the shrubs to the left of the driveway didn't exist. I was between 2 and 3 years old and was sharing the same room with my baby brother, who was only a few months old. Late one night, I woke up for some reason and looked down to the other end of the bedroom where my brother's crib was. In the darkness, with a bit of streetlight shining in through the window behind me, I could see what looked like a blanket floating in midair from out of my closet, and then it slowly glided towards my brother. I sat up and said something like, "Hey!" And much to my shock, that blanket zipped across the room right at me and covered me. I guess then I started screaming or something because both my parents ran in. Mom told me years later when I asked that I was tangled up in my brother's blanket and struggling to get free when they came in. We moved out about a year later. Story 19. Be me, a year ago or so. Chilling in bed, trying to sleep. I start to feel breathing on my neck. Regular, gentle, cold blows of air. I assess my situation. I'm alone. The window's closed. Maybe I'm somehow blowing the air through my sheets this way. Hold my breath to check if I'm doing it myself. It continues. It's also out of sync with mine. I even stick out my leg to see if there's a breeze in my room, but no. Fuck this. I turn around to face it, but it stops. Story 19. My first memory is from when I was 3 years old. My mom fought off someone that tried to kidnap me. There's a police report from 1992 about it. The perpetrator was ID'd from her car key. She put it between her fingers and punched him, and that got his DNA on it. Turns out he was tied to a few rapes in the area. Story 20. Nothing really paranormal, but we used to check out abandoned buildings when we were 16, and we found an old water treatment facility with these tunnels underground, so we checked them out for a while. And then when I got a job later in life, I had to take this course about confined spaces and how before entering anything like that, you have to test the air for a certain odorless chemical, some of which can kill you. Think rust eating the oxygen, so you don't even realize that you're suffocating. It's just screwed up thinking that we could have died in there because we were curious.